Maybe now we're gonna start streaming here. Let's see. If anybody can hear me, type it up in the live chat. Still having technical difficulties here. All right, so today we had the big earnings. Amazon, Ford, Snapchat, Pinterest, and Activision. So I think those were pretty big today. Um, all right, we're live now. We're live for sure. All right. So if anybody has any questions throughout the meeting, let me know. Drop them down in the chat. And today, pretty much just gonna go over earnings and then the market. And first, I'm gonna start off with what we were looking at yesterday. So for yesterday's video, what I was looking at is on QQQ, I was looking at the daily chart. Okay. So I mentioned yesterday in the video that we were looking for a daily consolidation to start, and that happened pretty quick with the Facebook earnings. We dropped down here uh, today. Let's see. So let's go back to the hourly so I can explain why we were looking for daily consolidation. So the reason why I was looking for daily consolidation to start was we had this 1 hour uptrend here, pretty much here, up, and then we lost it at this point here. Well, here, up here, we lost it here. So you see the uptrend is not going up anymore here at this point. So that has us zooming out on our chart and looking for a daily consolidation. So how do we do that? So we zoom out to the 1 day. We draw our fib as a guide, help guide us to see where we could bounce. In yesterday's video, I said we could probably bounce off this 357 area, but most likely it's going to be this right around 354-ish, 353 area, because this was a former area that we traded in. You guys see that? Traded in this area all of last week. So naturally, we're going to get this support. This resistance line is going to turn into a support. And sure enough, at the end of the day, we ended right there. And with the Amazon earnings was good, and we bounced all the way up here. Delete that line. We bounced off that line perfectly. So that was good. That was a good call out yesterday. So that's what I was looking for. And today, what I was looking for today was pretty much a continuation of that pullback. So in the morning, I don't know, one of the chats I posted that I was looking at for puts on Tesla, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And pretty much it kind of followed this, but Tesla was way more bullish. So it ran up to this previous level, previous resistance up here. We ran up to this resistance, but we weren't able to break over it. And right around here, I think in this yellow line that I drew, that's when I was playing Tesla. And then once I was looked over at QQQ, it had built this head and shoulders pattern, right? So I also sent out another notification that if 358.80 breaks, then we could go in for puts, and that ended up playing out, but it was pretty choppy. You got some sideways action, and then till the end of the day, it kind of accelerated. So that was good. Right on point with the video from yesterday. And then today, pretty pretty much played out how I wanted it to, so that's good. And then let's look at SPY. It was kind of the same idea, but SPY is a little stronger. All right, because SPY's bounce was way bigger. And same thing, I was looking at the fib to see. I actually don't know where this one bounced, so we'll see if it bounced at any of the levels. So this one bounced at the 38% retracement, 446. So you can see right there that it's a little stronger, and you can see the bounce probably taking place. Yeah, right there, 446. That's where it bounced, and continuing upwards. So that leaves us with tomorrow. What are we looking for tomorrow? We're looking for the 1 hour. Oh, no, no, no. We're looking for the daily to confirm this uptrend. Okay, so to do that, um, confirm the uptrend on the daily. Well, first we'll go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour needs to get over 361, and then for the daily to confirm. Um, so first we need the 1 hour to shape up, give us oops, another higher low right here at 358 would be ideal, and then continue upward on the 1 hour. All right, and key resistance levels for that is obviously 361.93, and we're also going to have maybe a resistance there at 364, and then up here at pretty much 370 area. So 364, 370 area is where we're gonna look for any red flags, and obviously right here at 361. But I expect this one to continue up, guys. So that'll be good for the market for continuation. All right, so now let's look at SPY. SPY again, same deal here. We're looking to get over 352 on the 1 hour, and then eventually get over 458 on the 1 day to confirm um, this uptrend on the 1 hour 1 day chart. So it's gonna look something like this. We bounced here, and we want to confirm this uptrend is continuing by getting over 458. All right, so let's go over some of the plays. For whoever missed it, pretty much I was marking the same thing here. We bounced off the 50% on QQQ, and since SPY is a little stronger, we bounced out at the 38% retracement level, just like we mentioned in the video yesterday. Okay, so and what we're looking for on both is the 1 hour to continue, and eventually we're hoping for the 1 day trend to continue over, if it can get over 458. All right, so that's what we're looking for tomorrow. Let's go to Tesla. I played Tesla today. I was actually looking for puts in the morning, but doesn't always play out how how you want it. Okay, so this is just like a little trade review really quick. So in the morning, we were crushed because of the Facebook earnings, and the stock got up to this level here. And the reason I was looking for puts is just because on the market. Pretty much, I was looking for the downtrend to continue today, so that's why I was looking for puts in the morning, and then let's see, right around here is where I was looking to get into puts. You see, I still had my alert here that never got hit. Um, so I was looking for this head and shoulders to play out, and it never did. And what I realized later, after it didn't cross that line, is that we were pretty much, getting into a tightening range here, which it did, and I bought calls right around here, one of those two candles, and it continued up for pretty good part of the morning, um, all the way up to 940, where I had the resistance. I think I sold somewhere close to the 940. But anyway, that was good. And then once I sold that, I started looking at QQQ, so I didn't catch none of this puts on Tesla. All right, and the reason that I mentioned Tesla first is not only because I traded it today, is because I think there's a good opportunity coming up for this one. So let's zoom out to let's check out the 1 hour. Or let's check out the 1 day actually. All right, guys. Yesterday my laptop turned off on me, so hopefully it doesn't do that today. I thought it died, but um, it was charged. Actually, let me charge it right now. Maybe that has something to do with it. It just like died. It couldn't handle the streaming. All right. So what I'm looking at here uh, on Tesla is we have something shaping up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. We got a shoulder, a head, and then another shoulder here. So that could be a potential inverse head and shoulder that we can play later at some point. So we're on the shoulder. If this level down here, 875 doesn't break, then we could see this head up if it can get over 940. So let's zoom in a little more. So this is the 1 hour. Let's see what other patterns we can see here. Um, we can also see sort of a wedge pattern. So if you see this breaking over this wedge, that might also be a good indication to get into some. Pretty much that would be the neckline right there, right? So you got your head and shoulders pattern, head and shoulders, and then this would be the neckline. And if we can get over, I would say 940, that would be confirmation, and I think uh, that would pay pretty good. That would print pretty hard, in my opinion. And also, look at this. You've got this long-term trend line that would also break that to the upside. So Tesla, keep your eye on Tesla every day. It might not break tomorrow, it might break next week. Who knows, right? But keep an eye on this one. Draw that neckline right there for sure. And set your alerts for 940. If it gets over 940, I think this one's good to go to the moon again. All right. All right. So what did we have today? We had Amazon earnings, and we had Google yesterday. So Google might be another one that I'm looking to play here, but only if it can confirm a 1 hour reversal here. So we're on the 1 hour time frame, and you can see that pretty much it's going down. I want to see something like this shape up. So I don't know if I could draw that a little clearer. I want something like this to shape up. So we got this low, lower low, and then a higher low. So kind of like an inverse head and shoulder there. You guys see that? So looking for a continuation on this one, and it has a split. So I'm hoping that this one can rock it up pretty good and maybe enter the long-term calls that I had initially um, tried to get over here somewhere. So that might be a good one. Or even if you want to play the weeklies, this one might be fire for tomorrow for Friday. So if you see that head and shoulders shape up in the morning, I would definitely get in on the break of this level right over here, right here. So if it breaks 29.39, that would be a good indicator for calls for me for tomorrow. 0 day to expire. Those what would probably print. All right, so we had Amazon earnings today, and those obviously went really well. Amazon's raising their price on their Prime membership, so I guess investors are seeing that as good. And I guess they also um, beat earnings expectations. So let's go look at that. All right. So I don't know why I have so many lines up here. So I think this yellow line is that long-term support line that we had going on for the whole year, and now it's getting up there again. So that's pretty crazy. All these earnings have been super crazy. Like Facebook was down 25%. This is up whatever percentage, 15% or whatever. So the market's just going up and down on these earnings. I don't know if I've ever seen that before necessarily. Can't remember seeing that uh, crazy movement where one stock moves the whole market. That's pretty wild. So this one is trading up at 3,000 after hours. What I did here, I actually didn't play Amazon, but I played QQQ after hours. You can trade QQQ and SPY after hours till like 15 minutes after the bell closes. So I played QQQ on those earnings. I just hit a market buy pretty big and sold half and swung half to see what happens tomorrow. All right. Hold up. Hold up, guys. Having some technical difficulties again. All right. Okay. So for this one, we're looking for the same thing as the market. We're looking for that 1 hour pullback. Ideally it would be really healthy, and we're going to gauge that the same thing by the fibs. So it kind of bounced there off the 38%. So 3080 is that level, and hopefully we continue up on this one tomorrow. And same thing, obviously, over if it gets over this level here. If you didn't get in, you can get into some calls, pretty much 3,300. If you can get over 3,300, you can play some calls on this one. And in the morning, guys, if you bought these calls on this, obviously sell them. You saw what happened with Google. It continued downward, and it's better to just sell it and lock in that profit. And puts again pretty much fried. Um, especially since they're weeklies, that they're just gonna get burned to the ground. All right, what's another name? So Rivian. Rivian is associated with Amazon, and I think they mentioned something about Rivian in the earnings. So let's take a look at that. I'm also going to go over Snapchat. I saw something interesting on that one. So what I can see on Rivian is also what I was mentioning on Tesla. So we got this inverse head and shoulder pattern shaping up there. And tomorrow, if we can get over this 1 hour level, 63.80, then we can probably continue up higher. All right, but the neckline on this one is like the other way. You guys see that? Neckline right there. All right, so it's looking the other way, but either way, this is still bullish. We're getting a bounce there. The retracement size looks like it was kind of big, but yeah, like 55%. So if it gets over this level, I would play calls, but just like a short-term calls, and maybe we'll see some kind of consolidation on this one, to be honest. I don't know if this one will continue. So maybe it'll look something like that. But who knows? We'll see. Keep an eye on it tomorrow. I like calls on this one, and obviously if it breaks this bottom level, that would be bearish around 59, 58, 59 level. All right, so let's look at Snapchat. This one also had a monster earnings, like a 50, 60% jump. So what it did over here is that it filled this gap. There was a gap at 29, and then today it broke down with the Facebook earnings, broke down under that level, and it didn't really bounce off anything meaningful here. I think there might be another mini gap right here. Yeah, there's like a mini gap that it filled. Wow, that's crazy. Filled like a little mini gap from September 2020. But you see this chart has more gaps down here. I don't really like gaps. And that's the other thing about all of these charts, they're gonna have a gap. So I would be careful with calls, even though it does look like we're heading up. But for this one, what I can tell you about it is that it needs to like confirm a 1 day, I mean 1 hour uptrend, and to do that, it needs to pull back. So here we got a downtrend, little bounce, and then we need to see another bounce happen here around 34.50, 34.50. Maybe catch a bounce there. If it goes under that, then it might start filling some of this gap that it's going to create. So gaps are not good, guys. I think that's the main reason why on Monday I was looking bearish, or not Monday. What was the day that we started going up? Started going down. Let's see. So whenever you guys see this in the future, this is bearish, guys. All right. So like this QQQ chart and SPY. So I had one gap up here. We opened here. All right. We closed down here. And then we opened there. Let me mark that yellow. Open there, and then the next day gapped up again, and then the next day gapped up even more. So three gap ups in a row. That's a bearish pattern. For any of you that don't know that, three gap ups in a row, you should start looking the other way. So that was one signal there. And then I wonder what the volume was. Let's see. Volume was, yeah, the last day. You see where the, oh no, that's, yeah, so I guess the volume didn't really show much. But yeah, three gap ups in a row. You can start looking the other way on some occasions. So don't always do that because it might be a runner and you're gonna get burned. You need to look for other signals, is what I'm trying to say. Um, all right, I think that's all I have for today, guys. I think pretty solid plays for Tesla and QQQ. Overall market, I think it's gonna continue upward. And let's take a look at Facebook. This had earnings. Maybe we can play this. So for tomorrow, guys, I'm looking at Tesla, maybe Rivian and QQQ. That's pretty much. Gonna stay laser focused today. Tesla was pretty bullish compared to QQQ, so I'm looking for that to continue for tomorrow. So looking to catch a good trade on that tomorrow. I think that'll be good. And then Facebook. All right, for Facebook, it looks pretty weak. You see how it didn't even bounce that much? I guess it did bounce a good bit. But what I'm looking for on this one, the same thing as the market. We're gonna get that initial pullback on the 1 hour so that we can set, you know, inverse head and shoulder kind of pattern. Zoom into this. All right, let's try that again. Same thing as the other one, guys, pretty much. Inverse head and shoulders, looking for that in the morning or pre-market. So it's gonna look something like this. And then continue upward. And then we have this resistance here at 344. And then obviously, first of all, it needs to get over the highs of the aftermarket hours. It needs to get over this. It needs to get over 242, and then it needs to get over 244. And this one has a long way to go, guys. So I don't know if this one will necessarily be a good one to play, but just something to look for, that inverse head and shoulder, and maybe get in if it can get over 242. What's another one that I played today? So I swung this one. I don't know why I did that. If I knew we were going down, but I thought maybe the Qualcomm earnings would be good for this one, but obviously it was not. And just sold this one right away in the morning. And today just went down, just like everything else went down. And now we're looking for that 1 hour reversal. So let's see how much this pulled back. This pulled back close to the 0.5, and then it bounced off some level that I marked before. Let's see what that is. That is what is that? I don't even know what that was. I guess this level here. There was a high there. Oh, that's kind of where we traded all of last week. So same thing as a stock market, pretty much. Um, so we traded in that level last week, and now it pulled back there, and it's bouncing. So same thing on this one. Same thing. We're looking for the same 1 hour head and shoulder kind of thing to play out and continue upward. On this one, same thing as the other ones. You're gonna look for these two levels to break. Boom, boom, 250 and 247. If we can break over those levels, um, we can continue up with the 1 day uptrend, same as QQQ, guys. All right, so same thing, healthy uptrend, and we'll see if that can continue. What other one did I play today? Let's go over one more. PayPal. PayPal was terrible today, so it's continuing the bleeding. And then after hours, I'm guessing it bounced just like everything else. Yeah, it's bouncing, but it's a lot weaker. So this one, this is kind of like a long-term play if you want to buy shares or some long-dated calls, and hopefully something good will happen to it. But this chart looks totally weak. I think, yeah, I wouldn't touch this one. Even puts, I wouldn't play with puts because it's already down huge, and you're just kind of asking for trouble at that point. But yeah, long-term calls or shares might be good on this one. It's back to 2020 levels. So yeah, I wouldn't really play with this one too much anymore unless you're going for a long-term hold, which might be good because it dropped substantially. Now there's a huge gap that it'll try to fill at some point. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Another thing that I was gonna mention is for these earnings, you guys can for the next meeting, I'll try to bring up my the charting for the options, and you guys can see that like if you buy an option, well, you guys can't see it on the screen, but what I've been seeing is like Amazon options, for example. Like a couple days ago, if you bought it like last week, for example, an option, they get um, the price goes up substantially from the previous week to the earnings week. Even if even if the price is falling, it'll still go up. So like let's say you bought calls last week for like 3,000 strike or whatever. Even if the stock dropped today like 200 bucks, your calls will go up because so many people are buying them and the implied volatility um, is going up so much that it'll make the calls go up. Not always, but we'll take a look at the chart so you guys can see the options prices on those last week compared to this week. I'll probably do a video separately or tomorrow showing that. Um, so with that being said, maybe uh, buying some. I think Disney has earnings next week. Buying some calls or puts, whatever, a week in advance might end up paying. So I would probably buy calls. We're going up on this chart. We're on an uptrend, so those will print with the price movement going up, and then also next week, once the earnings comes around, maybe a lot of people will be buying them, and it'll increase the price even more. So that's something we can take a look at. I'll take a look at it right now after this meeting and try to draw that up for you guys. All right, but that's all I have. We're looking for those 1 hour, um, 1 hour uptrend to confirm tomorrow, and yeah, that's all we got for today. Thanks everyone for joining.